that you identified where those first couple possessions were really KK and AB. Did you see something where you kind of wanted to go through them early in overtime, or did they just kind of play out that way?
I think we missed it more throughout the game, and we're able to kind of find it a little bit more in the overtime. The heavy help was coming. Initially we tried to stay spaced to exacerbate the defensive three, but when we realized that wasn't going to work, it was not going to be called, we decided to just cut her and throw it up to her.
Hey, Seth, I just wanted to ask you about the production of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey.
Yeah.
Of course, Alina Boston had a double-double today, too, but I felt like Caitlin and Kelsey kind of helped weight their dominance. I'm curious of what you saw from them, one, and then two, of course, overall, what you think of their peak now that you're headed towards this back half stretch.
Yeah, I thought they were both terrific. Kelsey struggled from the floor in the first half, and she found it in the second half. I think that's part of her growth is just knowing to stay with it, that it's going to come. I feel like C over the last 4 or 5 games, her floor game has been incredible. We all know she can score in bunches. She finds ways, but the way that she's getting us into offense, the way that she's using the floor to get her teammates shots, she's not getting bogged down on one side. She's not getting bogged down, trying to create something. She's allowing the game to flow, and she's doing a great job of finding her teammates in that. And when she does that, it opens things up for her in ways. I think the three that she got out of a timeout, I don't think she expected to be that open, but I feel like that was a result of all the ways that she was getting everybody else involved throughout the course of the game.
Coach, when you have multiple players that can score at any time and great at scoring, when it comes down to the crucial moment, is it more easier to, okay, we're going to go with this, or is it more challenging just as far as you got these great players, these great scorers?
I mean, it's a relief to have multiple options. The flow of the game starts to show us which one we want to go with, and to have not just such great scorers, but such unselfish players. So if they don't have it, they're able to find the right play, the right pass, the right read that gets us the best shot that we can get on the floor.
And you had that dip in the second quarter. I think the Dream went on a 17-4 run.
Yeah.
Obviously fought back from that. What did it mean to be able to fight back, especially against Dream, which you had problems with earlier?
It was huge. It was huge. It was a lot self-inflicted, turnovers and fouls, and offensive rebounds. And we knew that. Those are the areas. I mean, at that point, I felt like halftime we were still holding them to 35% from the floor, something like that. Yeah, 35% from the floor. But we were turning it over. We gave them offensive rebounds, and we put them to the foul line, 12 points from the foul line. So, those are areas that we can control, and we talked about that, about being much more disciplined in the second half. And I thought our defensive effort in the fourth quarter was outstanding, and we dug in. We dug in, and we gave ourselves an opportunity because of that defense.
We'll go Brian, then wrap up with Andrew.
KK's defensive versus something you can start her on, Ryan Howard, then you can go zone, you can move her around.
Yeah.
How much optionality does that give you, number one? Number two, are you going to tell Kelsey to triple not her shoes?
Yes, with Kelsey, triple not the shoes. I mean, the growth in KK, because we saw potential for that, defensively, the versatility, the way that she can guard. Oftentimes, we would use her in switches. We've seen potential in that, but the way the game has slowed down for her, the way that she has just dug into, her role, and how much more comfortable she feels on the floor because she did the work. This was not something we would have thrown at her the first third of the season. She'd be in regular switches, she'd be guarding post players, but the more and more comfortable she's got, the more and more responsibility we've given her, the more and more she stepped up and met those expectations. And so it allows us to do a lot of different things. I'm just so incredibly proud of her.
She said that she came in to team activities in the offseason a little bit early,
Yep.
just to specifically do that. When it comes to the offensive side of things, how much has her game developed, especially as a rim runner, pick and roll partner for Caitlin? I feel like that opens up a lot of things for you this late in the year.
Yeah, it's developed a lot. KK, coming out of college, she had, great leaping ability. She played predominantly back to the basket. If she got touches, they were mostly out of ATOs. You know, and we asked her to come in and to be a great off-ball cutter, to be a great uphill DHO player, and to dive hard out of ball screens. That's essentially all we asked her to do. You know, and in the off season, and your first off season's really hard as a rookie. It's like you don't really know what to do. Even if you're given a workout, you really don't know what to do. You know, when she went overseas for a while,